Today we'll be talking about how to multiply fractions times fractions. This is a lot easier than you think it is, even though it's going to look very complicated. So if we get a question like 3/4 times 1/3, the picture up top is going to show us what those look like. And I'm going to do a little bit of shading with a pencil and with a yellow marker to use as a highlighter. 3 out of 4. You can see that these boxes, we're going to call them about the same. That would mean I would need to shade 1, 2, and 3 out of the 4 sections. 1/3 is the same thing. You would need to shade in about 1 of those 4 sections. And you can kind of see that marker. That should work. What we end up doing now is when we multiply them, we end up turning them into the exact same area. So the 3 out of 4, I can still do 1, 2, 3 out of 4. Those are the same. And for the 1/3, I can still do 1. This marker's dying on me. Let me see if I can grab a different one. 1 out of these 3 sections. What we end up doing from here is we look at the overlapping section. This area right here was touched by both markers or both colors. That area is 3 squares, 1, 2, 3, out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Twelfths. This is what the picture would look like for multiplying fractions. Well, what would that look like on a number line? Let me give you a new fraction. We're going to find half of 1/3. The word of is the exact same thing as multiply. Well, if we're finding half of 1/3, that means we have 1/3. That is this area right here. From 0 to 1/3, 2/3, 1. If we're finding half of it, then we would have to cut this in half and pay attention to just this section. Well, how big is that? We would need to know how far it is all the way to 1 by cutting every single section in half. This section got cut in half. This section got cut in half. So we end up with one section shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. That's what it looks like on a number line. This is the shortcut. Are you ready for this? Let's pretend we have the fractions 5/6 and 2/7. The answer to this is 10 40 And if you're looking for the code, it's very simple. Top times top, bottom times bottom. Got it? 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 7 is 42. You will notice that most of the fractions on this page, these answers are ones that I've probably talked to you about already, especially this one. There is a way to reduce your fractions. This is part 2 of the lesson, and this is very important. If we have fractions like 4/5 times 5/8, you could do the standard at the end reducing like you've been doing with all of your adding and subtracting of fractions. Top times top, 20. Bottom times bottom, 40. At this point, you would need to look at these 2 fractions and think, what can divide both the top and the bottom? If we divide both of these by the same number, it doesn't change the value of the fraction. All it does is change what the fraction looks like. In this case, you should be able to tell that 20 is half of 40. So the answer would be 1/2. Well, what if I'm not great at math? What if I just know, oh look, they both end in 0. I can divide the top by 10 and the bottom by 10. You end up with 20 divided by 10 is 2. 40 divided by 10 is 4. Can we do that again? Yes, we can. 2 is divisible by 2, and 4 is also divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. No matter what, you should end with 1/2. If you take the slow route, you'll get there. If you take the fast route, dividing both of these by 20, you'll get there immediately. That is reducing at the end. And I'm here to say, there's an easier way. That rhyme was unintentional. You can actually reduce these fractions before you get to the end. It's going to make life so much easier, but you've got to be smart. Here's my fractions. 6/9 times 21/28. If you are looking at these numbers and thinking, if I multiply those are going to be huge, it's going to break my brain, don't be afraid. This is so much easier than you think. You can use any top number in multiplying, because in multiplying, it doesn't matter what order you put it in, which means that I can look at any top number and see if it plays nice with any of the bottom numbers. In this case, I automatically know 6 and 9 can be reduced if I divide both by 3. 6 divided by 3 turns this into a 2. 9 divided by 3 turns this into a 3. Wow. I also know that 21 and 28 play nice together. So I could divide both of those by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3, and 28 divided by 7 is 4. I already have easier fractions, but here's the good news. You can do it across fractions also. 2 and 4 play nice together. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 and 3 play nice together. Those cancel completely. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. What we just did was we turned these new fractions into completely different and super easy to use numbers. Top times top is now 1 times 1. Math is hard. Bottom times bottom is 1 times 2. Wow, life is difficult. We're done. If you can reduce it before the end, you can make multiplying easier. You don't have to reduce the answer anymore, and life is easy. If you can't find a number on the top and bottom that play nice together, you're probably already going to have your fraction in simplest terms. Or you'll have to look at the answer like we did up here and think, did I forget one? If you did, finish it. I hope this helps. Make sure that you know the cheat code. Top times top, bottom times bottom. That's it.